My name is Joyce Grundy and I'm 55. Actually, I was born in London. My parents came here in the 50s and they met actually in London. And as a result, I was born. I went back to the Caribbean when I was about 2 and came back to England when I was 8. My parents then moved from London to Derby because they'd both moved up here to work at Reuters. And as a result, I came here. I got involved in community work through a school friend who invited me to come down to what was called the Pear Tree Coffee Bar at the time. I refused to go down there because I thought, no, that's not what I want to do. It's not what I'm involved in. I'm not interested, whatever. But I went anyway, and I got hooked. So I was training to be a nurse at one time, but I couldn't cope with it. I was terrible as a nurse. I kept passing out all over the place, so that wasn't helpful. But no, I loved community work, and I got involved with community work. Started off as a youth worker, opened my eyes to a lot of issues in the community that I didn't even knew existed, to be honest. And sort of exposed me to being black in Britain. I think it's my passion for people, especially older people, because even though I was a youth worker and I enjoyed working with young people and everything, older people was always my passion. And I suppose because when I went back to the Caribbean as a child, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. Because of that, I think I transferred all of that onto older people in Derby, and they became my passion. When I started youth work and the idea came about to look at looking at the needs of ethnic minority elders in Derby, I jumped at it and I got the job to do the research around it and everything else. And alongside that, we sort of developed the Broadway, which became the Adari. And here we were making an impact on the system, and they hadn't catered for us in any sense, shape or form. They knew we were there, but they didn't recognise what sort of impact we were going to create. In whichever institution we look at, we still have a long way to go, but we have made a start, and a start is what's important, that we actually get through the door. There has been a breakdown from our generation to the next generation, and I'm not sure why that is actually. You know, I don't look at that as being completely negative, because I think that in order to break through, sometimes it has to break down. So hopefully we'll bring young people through, or we will step aside, because I think also it's about us recognising that we need to step aside in order to let them through. And as people become successful as individuals, that also has an impact on the community, because then they either step out of the community, and there's nothing wrong in stepping out of the community, but you must always remember what your community. I don't care if you're a multimillionaire, but still remember your community, because that's, always remember that. And I think that is what we need to drill through, and that's what we need to remember. No matter how successful you are, you're successful because of the village you come from. But we need to get back to the point where we're actually talking. Because we're very fragmented as a community. We're very fragmented as a community. And we need to go back to the very basic, and that was about talking to each other. Community is home.